Okay. So we'll go to text file. Those are CSV files, and we are going to take this. Okay. So we have Bitcoin. This is Reliance data. Okay. This is, I think, US. This is bond. Okay. And this is, okay. Let's take the US bond data. Okay. So let's open it. Okay. So first thing we have to make sure is we have captured the information correctly. Okay. So if you come here, okay, column name, date is date, price is price, okay, and you can even minimize it and you see this. You see this calendar? Calendar means it's a date, okay?
Swapnil, we can see it.
You can't see the screen?
No, we can.
Okay. So I'm saying this is calendar, okay? So
Yes,
this
yes.
calendar indicates that it's a date type, okay? But if you don't want it to be date type, you can change it, okay? You can hide, okay? So here you can even, okay, so first we'll talk about how to click on this. Okay, so see that the one way to learn is whatever option you see, just go and see what all options are there within that. Okay, and my job, okay, we'll have maybe 4 more, 5 more classes on this, will be to try to use as many different options as possible. Okay, so that you get to see different options here. Now, if you see here, okay, here it is a date type and you can change it to date and time or number, integer number, whole number, this is decimal number, string, text, boolean, right? Yes, true or false. And here if you see drop down, it talks about renaming. If you want to rename this data, okay, okay. So generally, a column is referenced by the name that you give. And if, let's say, if there are two columns with same name, okay, somehow let's say you join two tables together. So it will try to um, uh, club them, okay, basis of their table name and the column name. So let's say if and all the tables, in fact, that we pulled yesterday has same header, right? Date, open, high, low, volume traded, and percentage change. Okay, so what we are doing, okay. Now, if you see here, this data set doesn't look good because I downloaded monthly. Okay. So it is monthly. Yes, I think it's monthly only, right? 10, 1, 9, 1. So this is your month. And so it starts from October, okay, to September and it goes on. Okay. So it does not have data for 2023. It does not have data after um, this, but that's okay. Okay. This was probably stopped and never continued after October. Okay. So this date looks correct. Okay. This is date time. Date looks correct. This is the price. Okay. And this was the open price, the day open. This is the high. And this was the low. And this was the volume traded. Now, volume traded, okay, is null. So we don't want it. So I can go and say hide here. If I click hide, now when you click hide, it will get hide, it'll get it'll get hidden in all the sheets. Okay. So if it's not about only one sheet because it's a all the sheets are interlinked here. So okay, so let's say if you have used in some other sheet, it'll get hidden there also. You can't use it there also. So you have to be careful when you hide it. Next class we'll talk about how to create a group. Okay, and then we'll talk about how to create an alias also. But today we'll talk about how to hide. Now, once you hide it, okay, it's gone, right? I mean, it's there. You can unhide it also, but until you unhide it, you can't use it in this file, okay, in this Tableau file. Now, there's an option here. I can go here and okay, where is the option? Sometimes this app is creating problem. Okay. So you see here, right? Okay, you can hide this. Okay, you can change here. Okay, so here is it, show hidden fields. If I click on show hidden fields, okay, it will show up. Okay, but it's still hidden only. Okay, it has not been unhidden. Okay, if you want, you can say unhide. Otherwise, leave it. Okay, you go back and you uncheck this box, gone. By default, it shows 100. So okay, so older version it was like 1000. Now in the newer version, it's by default showing 100. But if you want to see more than 100, you can say 1000, 10,000, and you hit enter. So it shows only 111. So 111 means what? It only has 111 rows. So it was, see, by default it is 100. So it showed you 100 rows. But after um, like we change it to 1000, it is showing 111 only because it has only 111. If it had more than 1000, then it would have shown you 1000 only, right? If you have said 5000, so you'd have got 5000 if it had been more than 5000. Otherwise, maximum number of rows it will show. Okay, so it has 111 rows here, so we got it. So we have hidden this volume. Okay, and okay, um, so okay, we will probably use high and low itself, right? If you want, you can hide the price also. Okay, so we'll say hide. Gone. Price is also gone. Great. So talking about date, open, high, and low. Okay. If you want, you can hide open also. Okay. So talking about date, high, low, and change. Okay. Great. So talking about this treasury historical data set. Okay. Now we go to sheet. This is where we build our viz, right? Visualization. So, okay. So what is the first graph that you can draw? So remember we spoke about histogram first, or maybe we'll talk about simple thing. You want to see the median values. Okay. What is the median value? What is the median value? I'm not able to hear you all.
Swapnil,
Hmm.
it is the middle value of the data.
It is the middle value of the data, right? So if you arrange in increasing order, okay. So let's see what happens. Now I'm going to use, so here you have, right? So I'm going to put date, this is the measure names and your measure values, right? Dimensions and measures. I'm going to use date here in columns. Okay, so I'm using date here in columns. So by default, what happened? It creates a text here. Okay, so you have, 13, 14, and 22 here. Okay, now I want to put change in the rows. Okay, so this is the change in the rows. It is showing it for year. Okay, okay. Now, if I want to change the color or the type or things like that, okay, I can drag from here also. That means I want to change something here. Okay, or you can even do control and drag from here also. If I, let's say, I remove it and I'm pressing control. Okay, if I don't press control, then this will also move. I'm pressing control and now I'm moving. So if you press control means we're creating a duplicate. Okay, no, I didn't mean that. Yeah, so once it gets fixed, then you leave your control. Okay, okay. So so this is how I'm putting sum. Now I don't want sum, right? I wanted measure as median. So I'll say median. This is the median value. Okay. Now you want to show average also, let's say. Okay. So I will create one more change here. Okay. And I'm going to put it here. Okay. And I'm going to say here as mean. I want to see, is there a difference between mean and median?
Average, right?
Yes, average. So it's, average is your median. Okay. So this is the average return, which is moving from zero point 0.06 to between this, and this is your median return.
Yes.
Now, if you see these two data set, they are in two different graph, right?
Yes.
I want to put them together in one graph. Okay, and to put together in one graph. So what I'll do is I will take any one and say right click. Okay, and no, wait. I'll take this one and right click. You see dual axis somewhere? Okay, the versions keep changing. So sometimes even I also have find difficulties to. You don't see the dual graph, right?
Mm.
No, no. Let me select the table. Yeah, dual axis, you see? So I clicked here and right click, you see dual axis, correct?
Mhm.
Here, click on dual axis. See, both got combined as one graph.
Okay.
Okay, and measure name has got the color. Okay,
Mm.
so here you see median changes here, and this is your
How
average
much?
change. Yes, this goes from, so this is median is from minus to plus here, and it is minus here. Two different graphs, but date is same. Now, by default, what it has done, date has taken by year. You see the plus sign here?
Yes. Yes.
If you expand the plus sign, it has expanded to quarters. Again, if you expand into this, it will give you month now. So now you see it is month for every year. Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Now we need to make sure that, okay, uh, here, see here, you see there's month here, right? This is discrete values. And here, if you see month, it is continuous values. So if you click month here, okay, see now it has expanded, right?
mm.
Okay.
But why is it showing in scattered plot?
Yes, it's showing in, see, it's not this scatter, but it's a discrete value. So it's like pointing, okay. Um, so show header, remove the header. I'm going to hide this. Okay. Um, so this one we don't need. Let me remove it totally. Okay. So so this is your quarter, and okay. So this is for quarter. Your median was 0.05, right? So it's saying quarter median is 0.5. Now, if
Mhm.
you see, okay, so you see all here, right? Now, I want to change the way average appears. So click on average here in the marks. In the marks, click on average. So now whatever you're doing here is for
Average.
average. Okay. So let's say you do bar graph. So now it tells
Okay.
you, yeah, the change in every month or every quarter, right? So this is for every quarter. And now if you go to median, okay, median we can have, let's say, you can change the circle. So it shows you, this is your zero, it shows you where medians are and where your average is.
Okay.
Okay, blue bar is, yeah. Now, this is done. Now see, measure names have colors and this one doesn't have. So, uh, This one is, we'll change it to average, and we'll also put color here. Okay, so different colors. So give different colors here now. What else we can do? Okay, so if you want, you can expand it by date. You get it by date.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll remove date. We will not have date. We'll have by month.
So
If you can
for,
remove.
for these presentations also, they will give us any kind of requirements.
No, so I showed you yesterday the requirement, right? So did I not show you? 1 second. So see, requirement can be as vague as this. What it says is, so okay. So they're saying that, okay, so here, see, here I have said any asset, right? But question could be, looking at our bond, what can you tell about it? What can you talk, what does it matter? It says, right? What does the data says? So we have to figure out what information would be needed by the finance guy, because this would come from the finance team. They want to
Okay.
analyze the market, so that requirement would come from the finance guys, right?
Okay.
So now you have to figure out what it means, and how to uh, uh, how to give the value ranges and things like that. Okay, so let's take another sheet now. We'll take one more. Now in this case, you decide which metric you want to, or which graph you want to plot. Now if you
Mm.
see here, right side, show me, right? You put your cursor, like this is your text tables, this is your heat map, this is your highlight table, right? So I want a histogram. So click on histogram. What does histogram say? It says, read down. For a histogram view, try one measure. That means if you have one measure only, it will give you histogram. Okay. Then create bins. Okay. Create bins. So to perform histogram, you have to create bin. Okay. And down it says not available for all measures. That means you cannot use it for all measures. Only for some measures it is available. Okay. So for which measure should we do? Okay. So let's go and focus on change itself, let's say. So if I go to change, okay, and if you drop down here, you see a create option. So you have duplicate, rename, you can rename it, rename the column. If you rename it, this rename will appear in all the sheet and data source also. Okay, we are renaming the column. Okay, so then you have create here. Okay, you convert to discrete, dimension, geographic role, etc., etc. But we are interested in create, right? So go to create and say bins here. We'll talk about later what is group, okay, and what is calculated field. Okay, so you see bins. So I want to create histogram. So I have to create bins. What is bin in histogram? The width of each bar. Remember, right? So you click on this. Now this is what it is telling you. Okay, so bin name and size of bin is giving as 0.0259. Okay, so it is creating its own bin. So we can go ahead with whatever it's suggesting. Say okay. So bin is ready now. Now if I go and I put it here, you get text. Now I go and okay. So rather I'll put it down back here. Click here and okay. I will put it here in the rows. Okay, and then I'll go here automatically, and here I'm going to select, say, okay, let's say bar graph, for example. So it's showing me bar here, you see. But our intention is to come up with histogram. So I go here, remove it, and I click on histogram. It's okay. Then I click here Okay, so it says create a bin, done. So
Can we
where,
first add the columns and rows and then change it to histogram? Or,
no, no, sorry. No,
nothing.
no. I just seeing. So bin is created now, right? So now we can add to the sheet here. Okay. Now you can add it here also. Okay. And you can add colors. You can add to colors. Okay. So you have this. And now I'm going to say continuous here. Okay. I made it continuous. Now here it can show you the Gantt view. Okay. We'll plot it and we'll remove it. Okay. So telling you the change here. Okay. But here I also need date, right? So I'll put date in the rows. Okay. In fact, rows will put in the column and year here. Okay. So it tells you not right. Okay. So it tells you how the um, data is changing over period of time. Like 13, how was it? Where it was it falling? Okay. So 13, it was mostly in this range. Okay. The bin is coming from this range. Okay. So now I'm going to convert this to, let me remove, okay. Let me remove this. Okay. So now I'm going to drag and drop the data, right? So I'll go and I'll put here. Okay. Um, created bin. Okay. So let's put change here. Okay. Now histogram is available and I click on histogram. Okay. So histogram is created, right? So this is the histogram. So what does histogram tell you? And if you want it to be like different color, you can draw change here to the drop it on color. So it is different color. So what does histogram tell us?
Data.
So if you look at the returns, okay, most of the return is around 0.002, 0.02% per month, right? Mostly it is about 0.02% return, okay? And once it has given 0.342, 0.36. This is monthly data. Remember, this is monthly data. So it says, okay, mostly you get about 0.02, 0.03. So sheet 1 tells you per year. Okay, so in 13 it got this much return, and then it's not giving you return anymore here. It's very low return. Here it tells you that once, probably this was in 13 maybe. It tells you, the histogram tells you the count, right? On y-axis we have count, isn't it? Bin size is the width. How much width you want? I mean, you could have created bigger width, lesser width, right? But
Yes.
what did we discuss? That width has to be such that you get about 10 to 15, kind of bars. More bars is difficult to analyze. Less bar doesn't tell us more information. So, so this is how we could draw a histogram. Okay, so we have drawn one um, mean median graph to see the mean performance. Okay, and if you remove the year, okay, this tells you the average change of entire 10 years. Okay, entire 10 years change you can see. Now, if you put date, okay, so date is by default for year. So this tells you for change for year, correct? Now, if I do it for month, this is what it would mean. Entire month for January. Okay. Is it because the data set may not be clear? That could also be a reason. Why it is showing only for January is the data set may not be clear. Okay, so if you go to the source here, now I realize. So see, this is looking like all are like January only, right? So we need to change the date format here. How do we change? Okay, okay. So you go to date, okay, and date. Sorry, it's not date and time. It's just date. Okay, and okay. Mm, when you say describe, okay, it tells you, okay, so it tells you about the data. So from where it has got, okay, and data you will have um, the sample data. So what I thought is probably this is your US thing. Okay, that means you got 8, which is the
month,
month, 01
day.
date. But
Mm.
looking at the data, now it looks like
It's complete January.
Like
January. That's why it's
days.
showing only January there, right?
Mm.
Okay. Now we need to change the date format. Okay. So what we have to do is, okay, we have to create a calculated field. Okay. Okay. Or let's say you're on sheet 1, right? And okay. Um, do you see properties somewhere? We can change it using properties. Okay. Format. Okay. Format. Okay. So here you see um, duration. So here in data source. Okay. Mm, okay. Mhm. Okay. Let's try it doing this way. Okay. I'm going to create a new,
Data set.
no, new column. Okay. So go to sheet 1 and I'm going to say analysis. So there's a format here, date format. I'm just trying to see where they have moved it. Okay. So, or otherwise we'll create a uh, new, new, uh, new column. Okay. Drop line, reference line, title. Okay. Legends, filters, highlighter. This is fine. View data. Total. Yeah. So let's calculate a field, calculated field. Okay. So I'm going to say date US format. Okay. Now we will have to give the format here. Okay. Okay. Let me try one more time. Okay. Just got one idea. So if I go here, okay, and if I do right click, there should be an option called custom. Okay, I'm not able to get that. Hmm, okay. Uh, okay, or maybe here. Okay, it could be here. Describe date. So if I go to format is not showing up, right? Here, if I click on format, edit in self, um, month, date part, month, comma date. But date is yeah. Okay. So okay, was it okay? So this is what I'm looking at. So what was it? Is it month? No, right? It is. Um, you don't see custom ones here, right? Was it month? No, right? This is not correct. Okay. Second one is month, right? So uh, custom, custom. Custom also allowed us to edit. I don't know. If I say month or if I say year, let's okay, and if I expand it, and if I expand it, it's getting January only. Format, Oh, let me try this way once. Pull that out and more custom month here. Hmm. What I'm thinking is, okay, we'll convert this into, let's convert this into string first. Okay, we'll convert this into string, and now I'm going to I'm going to say create calculated field. Okay, and I'll say date US, and this is a date, right? So, okay, I'm going to delete it. This is the column name. Okay, so we'll do one more thing before we do that. We'll, it will change the name also here. It doesn't go.
Swapnil, can you try this?
I tried customize. It's not happening. So manually, I'm going to do it. Okay, manually we'll do it. So
Okay.
date in string format. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to say um, did we create a new create calculated group? So I'm going to say date US format. Okay. Yeah. Now I'm saying um, uh, so by default we'll put 01 as the month. Sorry, date. Okay. And month we will take it from the first position, right? So let me delete it. So I'm saying right. Okay. So right of you have okay, the column name. So right of what? Date str. Right of date str, comma 2. So this will give us the two values from the right. Okay. Two values from the right is our month, right? Correct? Yes or no? Okay. You forgot what we are doing? And I'm going to say by default, I'm going to add 01, like the first date, and month I'm picking from 2. Let's see if that doesn't work, then we'll change it to, so if first two doesn't work, then we need middle, right? In string kind of thing. And so this is right of 2 plus, okay, we'll add hyphen. Okay, we'll add hyphen here also. So it's like 01 hyphen right of date string hyphen left of our date string. Okay, left how many values we need? We need 4 values. Correct? Okay, now this whole thing has to be converted into date. So we will say date of. Otherwise, this will be treated as string. Okay. Now I will say apply and we'll say okay. Okay. This looks better, right? No. No. What did we do? Is it correct? What we did? Okay. Let's go and see the Excel. What is the source file first? That will give us some idea here. We are dealing with this one. So 0 1 0 1 0 1, right? So we want so first two, correct? That was our idea, right? Take the first two here. Okay. So if I have to do it in Excel, so Excel also same thing we do, right? Date US. It's going to be um 0 1, okay, hyphen, okay. Then you do what? Okay. So how do you do? We have to. So this is the month, right? This is the month. So we have to say write of this text, comma 02. No, 2. So if you do, giving us 71. This is why it's getting okay. If you convert into digit, it gets okay. So what we'll do, we'll go back here. I think I know the problem now. We go back here, date str, okay. If we convert into um, date, so now if we go and we edit it, okay. So see, this is how you can do the calculate, but why it has errors? Because string float. Okay, so let it be. Okay, I'm going to say okay, cancel for now. Okay, I'll call it as date. Okay, let's cancel it. I'm going to use date as date only. Let's say we'll rename it. Okay,
Swapnil, we can try date format. In
that's
that
what
we
I
can find
tried,
that
right?
yes.
The custom format that we saw there, right, did not had the format that we need. So when
So
you go,
can this have another formula for this for
wait,
the
wait, wait.
same issue?
So see, when you go to this custom here, okay, custom, okay, you see, we do not have. So we need month. No, we don't need month, right? No, this was original format, yeah, right? So
Yeah.
we want date, month, and year. You see, there is no date, month, and year format. Okay, so this is the only date format that it accepts. So I'm going to convert manually. Okay, so before the date, okay, so that's what I was doing. So this is the original date, correct? This is the date format. Now I'm going to call this as okay, date string. So let me first convert into date string. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take, okay, this will work when we do on the string. Okay. So let me save it. Okay. I'm going to do Control X. I'm going to save it. Now, once we come here, okay. Now, if I say, um, okay. So if I say, um, string of, okay, okay, I have to convert into string, right? So str of, okay, your date, right? This is the date. Now, if I want month from it, so I'll simply say comma, sorry, date of month. Okay. So this is going to give me, okay. Um, so, okay, I need the month number, right? So not date. I have to use, um, okay, let's see what this gives me. It should give me the month number. So date, no, no, no. See, this is a string, so I need to know the uh, name. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Let me start with simple one first. I have to build. So see, I have to pick date, month, and year, right? So I have to pick date, month, and year from this. One more option is you create three different, but that's a too big thing. Okay, I don't want to create three different. I'll simply say str of, okay, day, okay, day of. Now you give date, day of date, right? If you apply, did it work? No, it didn't work. Um, str of day of, okay. Did I close? No, I did not close str part, right? Yes. So if I do day of, so this is the day. So the thing is, this day is actually month in our case, correct? So we got this. So now our date is actually 01. Our date is actually 01, correct? So I'm going to say 01 plus. So this is how you pick day from this. So it is our actually, okay, now we have to add hyphen, right? Hyphen. So 01 hyphen date, okay. Now I'm going to say plus hyphen, okay. Now I'm going to say I need to pick the year from here, right? So year, I'm going to say same str of this entire thing, okay. And then instead of day here, I will say year, okay. Now this will be a string type. Let's say we do apply, right? Is it different? It is different. But now we have, since we are doing all these as strings, so it is all string. I have to convert into date. How do I convert into date? Using date function. Okay. So if I put date function here, the entire thing would be converted into date. Okay. So funny, right? What it did, it put it in this format only.
Again changed it to its format.
Okay, let me not put date here. Let me remove the date. Let's say apply. Okay. Okay. Now if I go and I say here as date, all our effort went waste, is it? Or let's do then. Let's do this. Okay, I'm going to put, then let's do this. Okay, so I think it's not listening to us, right? So we'll put this one first, okay, and this one later, okay. So this plus 0 plus hyphen, right? Plus hyphen plus 0 1 plus hyphen, okay. Now say apply, say okay. And now if I say date format, ah, it worked, okay. So we tricked it to think it differently, right? So now it becomes easy. Come here and we will,
Can you again do it? I mean, explain how it worked.
no. So we just changed the format. Okay, sorry, edit. So you know what? See, what was it was doing was we were putting date first and monthly. So this is they added, okay, because we said date, so it added date here, date parse. So date parse, this is the one date parse. Okay. So I think yeah, date parse, I missed it. I could have directly said date parsed. So date parse, if you do it, okay, so you give the format here, MMDDYYY. So see,
Okay.
when we're converting into date, it is giving date parse as DDMMYY. So we were not able to know this part. So what I did, I tricked it in the sense I just put this one here. So I put date here, okay, and then 0 1 here. What it did, it moved 0 1 to date and this one as month.
Okay.
Okay. So now I feel we could have changed here also how, okay. Let's say we copy this part, date parse. Okay. So this is fine. Let's try to change this here now. So I'm going to say, okay, um, okay. So yeah, this is converted column, right? Our own column. So we are able to edit it. Okay. This we cannot edit it. So let's leave it like that only. Right? So now you got it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we did, we converted. So what it was doing is, we read it by part. Okay. See, this is a when you convert it to a string, it converts into a very big number, which I showed in Excel also, right? I so if you take the date here and if you try to change into numbers, it will give number of days since that. You see, 44771 from 1972. That's how it is converted. Okay. So initially, when we're trying to read, we are getting these numbers, which is not the right way. You saw that, right? How date got changed to 44571.
Yes.
So that's why we cannot do that. So what I'm saying, I'm converted back into date. I converted back into date, and from date only, I'm taking first instead of taking MMDDYY, I'm taking DDMMYY.
Okay.
Now it became this. So now when we go to sheet 1, we will remove this. Okay, uh, uh, we go to this. Okay, why I have to close this format my date. Okay, and then we come here and oh, I forgot what was that date str, right? Now date str. Now if we expand to quarter, this was coming fine. This was getting wrong, right? So now you see here, okay, you have month here and you have year here for all the month. Okay, so it is saying August 2023. This was the case. Okay, so you have it in month wise now. Okay, so this was fine. The problem we were facing was here, right? So now again, that str doesn't look good, right? So we'll change the name. So see, we are renaming, everywhere is getting impacted automatically. We don't have to put it. So date str, I will say here UK format, right? This is how UK format looks like. Okay. So if you come here, By default, it takes date UK. So rename, actually rename date. Yeah, Pratima. So I saw your message late. Okay, so we created histogram, right? This is also good. Then what? Its time is up. Let's do one and we'll fix it tomorrow. Okay, so let's do this is box plot. So see, box plot says 0 or more dimension, 1 or more measure, right? So you can have more dimensions also. So let's take UK date and let's take percentage change only. Okay, and percentage change, we'll put it here. Okay, in the marks, and we'll say that. Okay, box plot. Okay, so that's box plot. Okay, now date we need, right? So it is for year, every year change. This is change box plot, right? So we'll stop here. We'll save it and save. So we'll say financial analysis, and we'll come back and we will